Certainly in disbelief over the death toll in Paris, but there are incredible stories of survival. Tonight we spoke by phone to a man who lives within blocks of where the attacks took place, and his loved ones were inside that soccer stadium when the violence erupted.
This is our September 11th. This is the worst terrorist attack that France had ever. So I think things will never ever be the same.
Ziad Joachim has lived through two violent and deadly terrorist attacks in Paris. First, the Charlie Hebdo attack where hooded gunmen shot up the home of the satirical newspaper. And now this, both just 2 blocks from his front door.
Where were you when the attacks took place?
Well, I was home. I was sleeping in my bed, and I was woke up by the police cars, sounds, and the ambulances. And when I looked at my phone, I saw messages telling me, "Don't go out."
Ziad listened to the warning staying inside as bloodshed from shootings and bombings could be heard from right outside his window.
So how do you feel now? I mean,
I'm still very shaky because I just imagine what could have happened. My thoughts went to the 2 boys, and then my 2 nephews, and it was just very emotional because it was what might have happened would have been so terrible.
His brother and 2 nephews, just 6 and 9, were inside the soccer stadium when the terrorist attacks got underway. He and his sister-in-law, frantic to reach them, could only pray they would survive.
She told me that she almost fainted because she wasn't able to reach him.
so she was probably frantic, out of her mind.
His brother did get a text message from friends to get out of the stadium. Others, not knowing what was unfolding, were not so lucky.
What did your brother say to you? I mean, because, either God was on his side, luck was on his side. I mean, what did he say?
He was trying to stay calm, and he didn't tell the boys because they didn't really understand what was going on.
Tonight, he's just grateful.
We're so lucky that all of us are safe.
So very, very lucky. It has taken more than 6 months for people in Ziad's neighborhood to feel normal after the Charlie Hebdo attack. He says after tonight's bloodshed, he doesn't know how things will ever feel normal again. Stephen?
People in Metro Detroit with ties to France are watching the coverage of the attacks tonight in utter disbelief. 7 Action News reporter Camille Amiri spoke with a woman in Royal Oak who is from Paris and joins us live with details now. Camille?
Stephen, Chloe Sabatier was very calm during this conversation I had with her early tonight, but remarkably, she is just shocked over what happened.
It's very horrible, and it hurt me even more because it's my city.
Chloe Sabatier lived in Paris until 2 years ago when she moved to the States. In fact, she grew up not far from where the terror attacks occurred today.
My best friend and other best friend, she's in a bar as well, stuck because the government asked them to close the doors, so they are locked inside.
Chloe has been able to talk to her family and friends. She knows they're safe. She says the area the attackers chose to target, the soccer stadium and the Bataclan concert hall, are fixtures in Paris.
Actually, my great-grandfather used to own this theater before.
Well, she still feels very connected to Paris. Chloe says tonight it's very hard being so far away.
I was talking to a bunch of French friends I have here in Michigan, and we are just with our phone like this, checking every 5 minutes our family, but also the news. I'm re-actualizing the page nonstop. Here you go, a text again from my friends asking what's happening.
And because everyone in Paris has been trying to get information from the internet at the same time, everything has been very slow. In some cases, Chloe told me that she was able to get information faster here in Metro Detroit than her friends and family were in Paris. Reporting live, Camille Amiri, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you much, Camille. Well, from Paris to Michigan, and now from Michigan to Paris, Glenda Lewis joins us after a phone conversation with a man who just moved 2 miles from the attacks. Glenda?
Carolyn, he left Bloomfield Township for a dream opportunity to live and work in the City of Lights. Travis Parman works public relations for Renault, and he lives in the 6th arrondissement, which is about 2 miles from where this horror took place. Travis says he saw the tragedy begin unfolding on social media with alerts pouring into him, asking him if he was okay. He describes his part of the city as eerily quiet and says he's lucky to have been home all day because now some can't get home.
There are lots of people that are having trouble getting back home. Of course, all the cabs are taken. They've shut down the metros. People are opening their doors to them. So it really kind of reminds you of some of the activities that went on with neighbors helping neighbors, like you saw in New York around 9/11.
And Carol and Stephen, we spoke about 15 minutes by phone, and we finished up with him saying this is all still a dream to him. It hasn't sunken in. It doesn't feel real. And he says it still feels like he's watching something on TV or social media and has no idea what his tomorrow is going to look like. Stephen.
Glenda, thank you so much. I was just